In our second year of using Chromebooks, digital curriculum is commonplace in our everyday instruction. In Ms. Bush's sixth grade English language arts class, they are working in their Chromebooks analyzing the poetry of lyrics from a current artist. Students are listening to the music and analyzing the text.
All right, I'm seventh grade reading, and what you're seeing right now is a gallery walk where the lesson was over tone versus mood vocabulary. So the kids are walking around and they have a vocabulary of a tone word or a mood word, and their partner go around and they have to describe or tell me if it's a tone vocabulary word or a mood vocabulary word. So they have to identify what belongs on their worksheet. They go around and they do that, and then once they're complete, they sit down and then we go over it together. And it's like a gallery walk, meaning if you walked into an art exhibit or a museum, you stop at each exhibit and examine it and go over and kind of look at it, and that's what they're doing.
This is my seventh grade writing class, and we are beginning to write our first expository essay. In doing that, we separate all of this in color. We make, in our journals, we do color-coded portions like our introductions, which is if you see the raising of the hand, that's the introduction. I feel like when you give a movement to something that's abstract, it helps kids remember that a little bit better. And all the strategies, they can stand up, move around, and that allows them to, when they're sitting at their desk and I tell them to remember, think about motions, think about the things that we did, and that allows them to recall information a little quicker and a little easier instead of just memorizing facts and strategies and concepts. The V formation that you see the kids making is actually what the introduction looks like. We basically talk about how it is a triangle turned upside down. And our head kind of represents our thesis statement or our controlling idea, because our brain controls things. And we gave them 3 strategies. One of them is called a quote, and they use a quote to start and lead to their thesis. And so you'll see them going and pointing to their head so they know that it leads to their thesis statement. Another one that we do, you'll see them walking and turning, and that's called a turnabout, where they walk and they take 2 steps. They start going in one direction and they have to turn around and bring it back to their thesis statement. So that was how that came to be. And then the other one is what we call, it's a funnel. And the funnel takes it where you start with something very broad and then you circle it down and you bring it back to the controlling idea. We use the interactive notebooks in their class, and that's just a composition book that we have separated into a grammar and then an actual writing composition section. And in each one, we set up notes that create sort of a handbook for them, so that when I give the information, we do it in chunks and color, because that's how your brain, and symbols, because your brain remembers things that way. And they are allowed to go back and look at that and see it, but we use color construction paper, and so those introductions are done on a piece of red construction paper, and they have that heart drawn on it. The heart represents the heartbeat of their paper, and we do all these symbols so that they can remember. Without the heartbeat of a paper, your paper's dead. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to be what you need it to be. This is something they're able to use. If they do this throughout, they can take it to high school and it still be relevant information for them.
This year we have a new program. It's called ZAP. Zeros Aren't Permissible. Students with zeros in their classes can be assigned a mandatory ZAP class during their scheduled lunchtime. Students get the opportunity to complete their work before being dismissed from ZAP. If a student doesn't finish their work during ZAP, they can continue to attend ZAP until that work is completed. GCS staff who are utilized for the ZAP program, and we've seen some great success in getting those kids caught up that have missing zeros. Teachers submit a form via Google, and that is how students are assigned, and we keep track. We actually have lunches brought to them into the ZAP lab, and they get an opportunity to eat their lunch first, and then once they're completed eating lunch, they can get out their Chromebooks and start working on an assignment, or if a teacher has sent an assignment, they get the opportunity to work on that. They have 2 teachers in there that can help them with completing the assignment, and they check to see if they're complete before they leave the classroom. Again, it's been a great program so far because our students, they're getting their work done. They realize that, you know, it is an incentive for them to get their work done on a regular basis instead of having to be attending ZAP where they're missing out on that time to visit with their friends during lunch. So, so far, so good. It looks good. And, you know, we really have started to see more and more teachers and students take advantage of the ZAP program.